Well, for more on the future of casino gambling, we are joined right now on the phone by Hedgeye Risk Management Managing Director Todd Jordan. Todd, always glad to chat with you. Stanley Ho knocked the cover off the ball for this first half. I mean, profits quadrupling, serious growth in Macau. So this should clarify, right, for all of us, if we had any question, Asia is where the gaming growth is, right?
Well, first of all, good morning, Deirdre. And yes, I agree, no question. As you mentioned, Stanley Ho is already outperforming the entire Las Vegas Strip. There is excess demand in Macau. It's so strong that the government actually restricts the number of visits people can make from the mainland China. Then you also have Singapore, which opened up this year, and that's exceeding all expectations, and probably at some point in the next couple of years will start to exceed the Las Vegas Strip, despite the fact that there's only 2 properties in Singapore. And contrast that with Las Vegas, which is mature and cyclical and tied to the U.S. economy. And an interesting tidbit on Las Vegas is the only part of Las Vegas that is actually doing quite well over the last 18 months is the business from Asia at the baccarat tables.
And Todd, I mean, you mentioned that the Chinese government actually has to limit the amount of visas, or is choosing to do so to try to control growth. And it seems like in Ho's results or SJM's Holdings results, the high rollers from China are a big part of what is driving these results. So is the takeaway whoever gets this junket or VIP business in Asia is the business that wins?
Not necessarily. The trade-off on the junket business is, while the growth has been tremendous, the margins are a lot lower because you have to pay a big fat commission to these junket operators. Whereas if you're marketing directly to the players, you keep that spread. But I will say that, the junket business is off the charts. Mass is what we call the non-junket, is still growing very, very nicely, but the junket business is off the charts. And even LVS, which is the premier mass operator in Macau, has said that they're going to make a more focused effort on the junkets and try to penetrate that market a lot more than they have already.
Todd, making this link between what's going on in Asia and what's going on the Strip, I mean, what do Ho's results mean for MGM? We know there's a joint venture there.
Yeah, I don't think even though there's a relationship, obviously Stanley Ho is the father of Pansy Ho, who's a 50% joint venture partner with MGM, but I don't think there's anything direct in the results in terms of the family connection, but I do think it speaks well to the entire market, and MGM obviously participates in that market. MGM has been losing market share, and they plan on doing an IPO later this year. We think it'll probably be early next year, and I think they need to start growing that market share to sell that story to investors, and I think you'll probably see that in the next couple months, a little uptick in the MGM market share.